But Ric Flair was there, and you always hear the story about how he shakes everybody's hands, or you shake everybody's hands. But it was quite weird. It was a very heavy environment that day. But Ric Flair obviously was in a very bad humour. You could just see it. He was urgent to fight. I remember saying that, don't go near him. He's obviously in bad humour, don't go near him. But he was going around like chomping at the bit, and then the story came out that he had a problem with, he was ever at blame, where he wanted an advance. So at the Dublin show, he decided that was it. He was going home and he was leaving. But that was at that particular show in Dublin, where he had a fallout with TNA management. But that was quite intense backstage, and I was a bit disappointed because obviously he's a legend. You want to say hello to him, but I just knew if one of us went near him, he'd probably just, because I heard some stories about when he was wrestling for groups in England, he was in bad humour, how he would react giving out. Yeah. So I just said,
no, it's sometimes you hear people saying, actually, if you have an idol or somebody that you look up to in a whatever, never meet them.
No, just regarding to Ric Flair, you could tell he was in bad form. I'm sure the guy's a gentleman, a lovely man. He has a great legacy. I didn't mean that in a bad way against Rick just that particular day, but there is a story talked about at the time how he left the tour early. He was sent home or he left, but we were there that particular day and it was very intense, and somebody was nearly going to get a punch in the face from Ric Flair. That's the way it looked. But Ric Flair story again, Brian Dixon used Ric Flair's son, Richie Steamboat. I'm getting mixed up. Rick Steamboat's son, Richie was his name. So he used him, and then I know he'd used Brian Dixon had used Ric Flair's son after that as well. So Brian Dixon, I used to be in contact with Brian Dixon and this and that and talent and whatnot. And I remember on a show in Dublin, or Jerry Ryan show, the radio show, that used to be the most popular radio station state in Ireland. And Ric Flair was an interview on it because he was coming over for the WWE tour. And he blasted Brian Dixon. My son is treated badly over there in England. Talking about Brian Dixon. And anyway, I'm talking to Brian Dixon about a week later. So Brian, Ric Flair was on the interview here and he was shocked. He said, I'm so good to his son, David Flair. I'm treated this way. so it's mad how in wrestling people perceive things one way compared to what it really is, or vice versa. Like.
Yeah, and sometimes actually what you find, isn't it, it's like every walk of life is, it's just miscommunication. They don't really, they've got this issue, but they don't tell you about it, and I seen it so many times, when you were doing shows, you had some guys excellent, really good to work with, and then you just had the prima donnas